Okay, Casa, bring it on. Let's do that now. Unless there's anything else you want to talk about and add, please do that. And do talk among yourselves. That's what it's all about as well. We are going now to Home Key, Portugal, and a look at a Fundao property, very reasonably priced. And this, what are they calling it? They are calling it a country house. Quinta da Forca, which sort of carries on in that theme, doesn't it, of the Alma Portuguesa. Força. I believe this is like the Quinta da Forca, the power farm, possibly. Just a very quick look at some pictures before we give you a bit more detail. Nice place to store your wood there. And some beautiful stonework inside. You'll be glad of that in the hottest days in Fundao. And isn't it interesting? Portuguese property photography, it is a special genre all of its own. Some fabulous and interesting photos here. The blue plastic bag there. I'm only joshing because I think you get a sense anyway. But isn't it interesting, the angles and what's included in photographs in Portugal? Actually, going back to Ali Sheldrake, husband Dave is a photographer, and I've seen some of his. If you want some cracking photography shots, ask Dave. He's a really good photographer. And I think, generally speaking, I'm not just singling out this property, but generally speaking, you know, property photography could do with a bit of a boost, couldn't it, in Portugal? Although I love looking at these very sort of naturalistic and realistic photos as well, I have to say, if I may call them that. Now, what have we got here? Have we got a ford, a pond, an irrigation system? But a very interesting property. Look, that could well be like a natural pool, couldn't it? Like a bio pool. And I'd much rather swim in a bio pool, obviously, you know, with fresh flowing water, than I would a chlorine pool, I have to say. And I suspect a few other happy homesteaders would prefer that as well. Let's have a look at the detail here. Look at that, 45,000 euros, 12,000 square meters, one garage, and a country house, Quinta, in Castelo Branco, Fundao specifically, a very inviting Quinta with 1.2 hectares of land, good soil, and you will find that in Fundao, a great growing agricultural area, and useful areas divided into several flat parts. Quiet place with great views, a typical case of the photos don't do this farm justice. An ideal farm for a good life in the Portuguese interior. Yes, you had me at inviting Quinta. Great for keeping sheep, goats, and or horses. The property has two buildings, one original building from granite stone, which has a new concrete roof with concrete ceiling and is currently used as an open space living and sleeping area by the current owner. The size is approximately 50 square meters, including the roof terrace. The actual living space is around 35 square meters divided into two different rooms. The second building is currently used as a storage for firewood. I think we saw that in the pictures. And as a kitchen, and it has around 80 square meters, including the carport. The building is an ideal place to have the building is ideal as an agricultural support building, okay, for hay storage and animal sheds. So this really lends itself to livestock and an agricultural project. Land 1.2 hectares, large diversity of trees. Check this out. To name a few, 55 olive trees, which did give you in 2019 a yield of 80 liters of olive oil. 18 apple trees, that should do it. 6 different varieties of apple, 20 young oaks, 60 vines, chestnut, loquat. That's like a kumquat, isn't it? A loquat. Perhaps Owen could enlighten us. Perhaps that's a whole show of the different kinds of quat. Quince, orange, almond, pomegranate, nut, and fig trees. It has an abundance of water from its own spring, which is kept in a large pond. That was what that picture was. And a granite stone square well, and the excess water running through the land. The water is always growing from the spring. Okay, so that doesn't dry up by the sound of it. Water from own spring and mains electricity connected. Great access just off the tarmac road, and you enter the property via a gate. Property is completely fenced off. Again, excellent for agriculture. You won't have a massive fencing job to do. Location, farming area, very quiet, magnificent views to the Gardunha mountain range. Yeah, beautiful. 1.5 kilometers from Atalaya do Campo, 21 kilometers from Fundao, and 30 from Castelo Branco. Pretty awesome. Keywords here: quiet area, no neighbors, garden, lawn, access via paved road. Got a lot going for it. Water well, borehole. It's ticking a lot of boxes for the potential happy homesteader. Talk to Melanie Grunlo, who in my correspondence with her is a very nice person, and I'm sure she'll help you. 934 850-145, reference here, Hotel 390 for the Quinta da Forca. Sold here, marketed here by Home Key Portugal, whose properties we like to look at, and very much in the homesteader vibe. So let's leave it there. Just a quick look, see what if there are any further comments. No, you've all gone quiet. You've all been very, very good. I don't know if you've been stunned by what Chris had to say. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what's gone on. Why you've all gone quiet? Had a busy week. Nodded off over your breakfast. But let's leave it there then, shall we? And maybe continue the conversation in expatsportugal.com. Why do you choose what I like? I guess we're on the same wavelength, though. It's a nice one. I don't know if you'd seen that one before, but that is a beautiful pad, isn't it? I can see you there with your occasional pop-up restaurant and kitchen experience. It'd be lovely to sit underneath those eaves where they've currently got all the firewood stored and have a little bit of a cantina vibe going on. I can see you cooking up a storm there. Busy listening and admiring the lovely stone property. Absolutely. And that is a favorite now of Owen. Yeah, okay. I will wish you a bon fin de semana, a good weekend, and look forward to being with you on Monday when we will, of course, be joined by the Expats Portugal community. And Dan says, just finally, Chris was 50% spot on, in my opinion. Great house, by the way. Okay, yeah. I mean, this is the thing here. I feature Bon Fin de Semana, Carl, para todos os adeptos de Good Morning Portugal. Abraço. That's beautiful. Have a good weekend, Carl. And to everyone else, the adeptos, the adepts, I guess the followers, listeners of Good Morning Portugal, and a hug from Peter. Chris was 50% spot on, in my opinion. Great house, by the way. Yes, Dan. Interesting. You know, I think it's really important that I don't editorialize here. I'm very keen to showcase people's ideas, contributions, shares, etc., and have a conversation. I think that's what's missing from social media and from a lot of the kind of media landscape. You know, it's not for me to tell you what to think, is it? How patronizing would that be? It's for me to share with you things that I think are interesting. That's my only kind of editorialization, is like collating and curating things that may be of interest within the context of living a good life as an expat and an explorer in Portugal, and you know, within that happy homesteader vibe. Anything that connects with that, I'll share it with you, and you're all grown-ups and you'll have your opinion, and we can talk about it like civilized and respectful human beings. How cool is that? And how rare is that? Adeptos are fans. Thank you, Peter. And Gary had a bad day with text today. Yeah, I'm just going to go back. The jam thing. We go from COVID hoax to pumpkin jam. We've got everything here. Toast and pumpkin Abbott jam. That was actually abobora jam, not Abbott jam, just in case you were thinking that it was non-vegan and actual Abbotts were used in the making of that jam. It's a big conversation, what Christopher said. Too long for here. Let's have that somewhere else then. Expats Portugal Forum, perhaps. Getting ready for match day. United. Which one? Sheffield? Leeds? I'm guessing Manchester United, right? And Sport Report is coming a week tomorrow. And tomorrow night, of course, Gary, I think you've got your bottle lined up. Afonso Henriques, first king of Portugal, as Filomena told us yesterday. Eloise will be taking us through a tasting of this tomorrow night at 9:00 on this very stream. And I'm looking forward to that. Mixture of Barga, Merlot, and Loriga grapes. And apparently she's going to do it all in Portuguese. Only kidding, Eloise. Not really. She had a spat her breakfast out if she heard me say that. Bon fin de semana. Sorry, waffling now. Take care. Bye for now. Até logo. Até próxima.